Welcome to the FMV Archive. Today we are doing A Tale of Shadows, Fragments, Part 1. Or is it? I don't know. This is a very confusing setup from this developer. This is Mad Writer Films' first game, and they actually include an entire 90-minute movie with this game that's available right now only on Steam. The movie feels a little bit like a prequel, so is that part 1 and is the game part 2? Or is the game the prequel and the movie the sequel? Is that part? I don't know. We have the entire movie up here on our channel if you want to check it out. It is there to watch in its entirety, and you can see some clips of the game going on behind me here. At its heart, this game is a point-and-click adventure with a lot of FMV video in between it and a 19-minute epilogue at the end of the game that is all full-motion video, which answers no questions whatsoever about what we just played. You don't introduce new characters into the story with 90 seconds left to go in the game. That's a terrible idea. You know what? Let's just start with our 10-point system to find out if this is a game that you should be purchasing. And first, we're going to start with the story. The good part of the story is there's a lot of it. You wake up in this house, you kind of have amnesia maybe, you really don't know who you are, why you're there. And then there's this shadow. You're instantly afraid of it. You don't know why. You don't know if it's bad. You're just gonna hide from it anyway. There's an omnipotent voice talking to you, giving you very vague ideas of something that may or may not have happened and may be happening. There's this old soul Fletcher or James. I don't know. Maybe it's James Fletcher. They kind of reveal that at the end that his name is James, and she seems wildly surprised by this. It's odd. Sometimes when you pick up things or you match pictures with certain items that you have, why are you carrying pictures with you? I don't know. You will get flashbacks into the past, into your past, the main character, that make very little sense. And when the game ends, it makes even less sense. You find out that there's ritual sacrifices going on in this house that has something to do with the DNA that the people that are there, but you're not quite sure what it is. And when it ends, they may be ancestors of this guy from 200 years ago who's trying to resurrect his wife and daughter. We don't know how they died or why they died, but they did die, and he's trying to resurrect them throughout a ritual. This story makes very little sense. There's a lot of I's, there are a lot of T's, and very few of them are dotted or crossed. It just kind of leaves you there. The story is absolutely broken. It's also broken in the movie of this one. It's a little bit more clear, but it's still pretty bad. The story is a 0 overall. It is very confusing, and it doesn't really wrap up any of the B plots in this. The worst part of it, when you beat the game, there's a 19-minute epilogue, and they introduce new characters in the epilogue, and they don't tell you who the characters are. What the hell is that? It's terrible. 0. Number 2, gameplay, point-and-click game. You look at items, you pick them up. There are hundreds of items in here that are completely irrelevant. You pick up you look at you don't pick it up actually, you just click on it. You look at a cup. All right, there's nothing to do with that cup. You have to drag everything to see if it's a clue, and that's the game. Occasionally there's different colored items in there, and you have to match up a picture with that item, and it'll give you a memory. Rare occasions you'll bump into that ghost. That's when you go to the corner and hide, cover your mouth, and you just click. That's the gameplay. Point and click, walk around, find stuff that doesn't matter to the story. I will give it a 1 overall for gameplay just because it's mostly functional, but the game did crash a lot when I was playing it. And they gave a couple updates throughout it that seemed to help the stability of it and seemed to help some UI stuff, but still pretty bad. Number 3, the look and the graphics. The house looks cool. The pictures are cool. It's super clear. The shadow monster is laughably bad. That's absolutely terrible. Interface that you look at your clues and everything, that's easy to navigate and it looks pretty good. But overall, looking at the graphics, it's not too bad, especially the FMV. It looks crystal clear, 6 overall. Number 4, the dialogue. Oh boy, it is repetitive, it is slow, it is banal, it is confusing.
I have escaped my ship and landed on a desert. There were some Bedouins that were kind enough to have given me a place to take shelter. I do not know my fate.
They mention names of people that you've never met and you have no idea who they are, but they talk to them like you know they're your best friend, kind of like your aunt when she's telling you a story. Oh yeah, Betsy's daughter, Susie. She's going to Stanford next year. You have no idea who Betsy or Susie is. That's a lot of what the dialogue in this movie is. They're talking about people you've never met. You have no idea who they are. There's also weird reveals of people in this. They'll just mention names and it's like, oh, there's a sting of music and it's supposed to be scary and they look at each other like it's important, but you have no idea who that person is. The dialogue's bad. It's poorly written. It makes no sense. It's a 0. Number 5, game logic, controls, and consequences of your decisions. You can move around the house pretty much as freely as you want. There's a couple of locked doors, so you do have to find the clues to get the keys to unlock those doors. So the logic of the game kind of makes sense. I need things to progress a little bit. I need these clues, and they kind of help you a little bit with the clues, and that makes sense. They give you an interface. It's like, okay, when you find these 2 clues, you'll unlock this memory. You need to find all 100% of the clues, so it doesn't matter, really which ones you're looking for, because they don't tell you where they're at. When I say 100%, I mean 100%. You need to find every single clue, so you'll have to pick up every single item in this house and drag it down to see if it matches. The controls do work. When you click on something, it works, so that's a little bit of a plus. Overall, the consequences, game logic, and controls, we'll give it a 3 overall. In general, most of it works, but not very much of it makes sense, and a lot of it's quite annoying. Number 6, the acting, the lead in this, the Fletcher guy. He is absolutely terrible.
I tried to myself, but then again, the immortal shadows must live in misery.
He delivers lines like my daughter read when she was like 5 or 6 years old. It was very deliberate. It was slow. She was trying to enunciate everything correctly. I don't think English is the first language of the people in this, because they're kind of talking in a little bit of an odd cadence. I don't know if that's a directorial thing, that talk super slow so everybody hears what you're saying and be super clear with every word. It doesn't come across as natural at all. It comes across as completely annoying. This game's 20 minutes longer than it has to be just because everybody talks so slowly. The woman in this, the lead in this, she's fine. When she's hiding from the shadow, it's really bad. She does not convey emotion very well. She's okay. It's not the worst I've ever seen, by far. This is not something like the Joker's game where it's laughably bad acting, but it's not all that good either. We'll give it a 3 overall for acting. Direction and cinematography, they're trying to build tension. They're trying to give you these weird flashbacks that give you little vignettes into the life before, maybe, of this person. We don't know if she's actually even a person, maybe, at the end of it. Gets a little misleading here. The lighting makes it feel like a little bit of a dream sequence. That is pretty good. They try to ratchet up tension, and they never do. It just kind of falls flat every single time, because you end up looking around for clues for 20 minutes and picking up every goddamn utensil in the kitchen, even though it doesn't matter and has nothing to do with the game, but you have to because it might be a clue. Maybe there's a language barrier in this. Some of this stuff is a little hard to understand. It doesn't make sense in terms of dialogue. In direction and cinematography, it does look generally good in some parts. We'll give it a 2 overall. Number 8, music and sound design. Easily the best part of this game. Music is really good. Got a lot of good, piano in there, a lot of good low types of music, and that plays continuously throughout the game. Tons of different selections of music, good creepy house music. The sound design is also very good. I hear these actors. I hear everything they're doing. Not very many sound effects in this, but the ones that are in there are really good. We'll give it a 9 overall for music and sound design. Number 9, inventiveness. They have added a full 90-minute movie to this game. You're getting that with this game. Now, is that movie good? No, it's very bad and just as confusing and just as silly in terms of story arc plots in the movie as it is in the game. Point and click adventure, that's different. It's, not completely new in FMV gaming. I get that, but it's not all that used very often. There are a couple themes in here that are new, but they're not really executed all that great. 4 overall for inventiveness. They tried. Number 10, our most important category, fun. I had 0 fun playing this one. It is totally, absolutely boring. I have 6 hours into this game. Why? Because I was looking for stupid clues and got stuck several times. I think actually some of the things were wrong on the initial release. I got this on day 1. They did a couple updates to it, and I found out that things actually matched together after I got the updates, and I was able to get some things rolling after that. So it might be a little bit better for you when you play it, but my initial playthrough was absolutely brutal. Ending is terrible. Ending is confusing. Ending is way too long. I just wanted this damn thing to end at this point. Clicking and dragging hundreds of things that are completely irrelevant to the story gets incredibly boring incredibly quick. It makes the game longer, but it does not make it better. This is 0 for fun. Absolutely not fun at all. That brings us to a final score of a 28. Ouch. Pretty low, and it deserves to be even maybe lower. I don't know who's going to enjoy this game. I'm the only person I think has reviewed this game on Steam a week into its release. There's not too many videos of this game out there. It's $29.99. I think it's $20 on sale the first week that it is out. That's incredibly too much for this game. Now, you're getting a lot of content, but just all the content is pretty bad. I know this is part 1, okay? There's supposed to be other parts to it. But part 1 has to make some sense. It has to give you a wanting to find out what happens later in the game or later in the story. I don't want to find out anything. I don't care. It was so boring and made such little sense. Even if I did make up an ending for this, it wouldn't be good anyway. If you think I'm completely wrong, check out the full movie that's up here. Watch a little bit of it. If it's your vibe, play the game. Give it a shot. Otherwise, I'm thankful that you gave us a shot in watching this video. If you want to watch more FMV stuff, that's all we do here. Hit like, hit subscribe, and you will get more of this stuff. Thank you. Have a good one.